The problem with the Democrats is they've never run out of things that they can give away for free, quote unquote. If you talk about 75% of the budget, 75% is non-discretionary. We're going to have some hard decisions. We got to bring the Democrats in and talk about Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare. There's hundreds of billions of dollars to be saved, and we know how to do it. We just have to have the stomach to actually take those challenges on.
So there's another Republican, Georgia Representative Richard McCormick, and oh boy, is he excited to start cutting Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. You do not get to be surprised at this, America. You were warned, and I don't just mean by the media, I don't just mean by people like me. Donald Trump and the other Republicans have been super clear. They're coming for those programs. And did you notice the little sleight of hand that he pulled there where he's like, 75% of the budget is non-discretionary spending, and so that's where we need to go for the cuts. And I was like, oh, do you mean the military? We spend like so much, $1 trillion a year or whatever. No, that's not what he's talking about. There's not going to be any cuts to that. They're going to bulk up that funding, of course, because that money goes to defense contractors and they're good people. No, you peasants are sucking up Social Security and Medicare. That's where the cuts need to come. And he prefaced his statements by saying, there's nothing that the Democrats don't want to just give away, like Social Security that you paid into your entire life. You worked for decades to earn that. Many generations have now, but don't expect it because Republicans are coming for it. And Donald Trump has, when he's running for office, he attacks other Republicans as wanting to cut those programs, but then he immediately goes back to advocating for the cuts, and he's done that cyclically throughout his career. I don't know if they'll be successful this time in actually cutting the programs, but I know that they want to. And not just Trump and not just Richard McCormick, but apparently the co-president of the United States, Elon Musk, he retweeted this message from Senator Mike Lee, who said, Mike Lee said, of all the deceptive sales techniques the US government has used of the American people, one of them, the Social Security Act, gets far too little attention. Buckle up because this is a wild ride. So he's gonna make the case for why Social Security should be cut. Mike Lee, by the way, is a member of the Department of Government at the Doge cutting thing. He's part of that. He said he ran for office to cut Social Security. And now maybe he has an opportunity. And Elon Musk is like interesting thread. Elon Musk, who's gonna have all of this power, wants to cut those programs. And so, look, if you wanna do something to reform Social Security to extend its fiscal viability, you can do that. Remove the cap on contributions to it. So rich people have to pay a percentage of their entire income into it in the exact same way that you and I have had to our entire life. Why are they exempt from having to do that? That would shore it up. They're not talking about that, and they're not gonna do that. Instead, they're gonna cut how much you make, and they're gonna make you work years longer before you actually qualify for it. And I know that we're all trying to learn lessons from the election on why exactly people voted for Donald Trump, but I don't think the main reason was they think they should have to wait 3 more years before retiring, and when they do, they shouldn't get as much money. At least I never heard that come up in any of the focus groups I've heard. But Sharon, what do you think?
In South Africa, Elon Musk, Social Security is tied to just general taxation. There's no need for employment to be linked directly to your benefit. I don't know what Elon wants to do over here as co-president, but this is what we're in store for. There's going to be people who are literally put out on the street, and rich conservatives are going to make money on the front end and the back end of this cut. That is, take it to the bank.
Yeah, 100%. I look, again, it's all shaping up exactly as we said.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? He runs on, inflation's so high, the prices are too high. What are you gonna do about it? Jack up prices by 25% with tariffs. And then, when you're even more desperate and you need more government assistance, we're gonna cut those programs, so you're not gonna have that. But don't worry about all that. Don't acknowledge it, and you probably won't because you're not gonna hear about it on Fox News. You think Fox News is gonna focus on the actual damage that will be done by these changes? No, they might have that dude on, Richard McCormick on to advocate for it, but they're not gonna actually talk about what it would do because that would scare Fox News viewers. Instead, you just try to get them comfortable with it and then pivot right back to trans people using bathrooms. So that's what they've been advocating for. Cuts that would actually hurt the very Republican votes that put them in office, and then the bread and circuses of trying to wipe from the face of the earth the trans community. So sure, you may not be able to retire. Old people may like suffer and die and starve in old age, but don't worry, you won't have to worry about going in a bathroom and seeing an icky trans person. And that is more important than economic dignity. That's the lesson that I'm taking from all of this. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?